Did you ever think back to what your uncle did to you, or was it just a combination of things that had put that anger in you?
I always thought about him. I never forgot because for a long time, what he did to me, I used to believe that that's what I liked or that's what I was supposed to do. For a long time, I was confused. I knew that I liked women, but I didn't know if I was supposed to like men because of what he did to me. So I was very confused and very, very mad about it. I became very, very sexual. I started masturbating at a very young age and started watching, porno magazines, stuff like that. And it just started polluting my body more and more, my mind, my soul, it just started getting darker and darker, everything.
You're in Chicago, back with your dad. Where do we go from there?
I mean, I was the new kid in the neighborhood, and we're talking about a gang-infested neighborhood where as soon as I came in, I started getting bullied because I was a new kid, and I realized that summer there was a bully that kept hitting me. He gave me 2 black eyes that summer, and he would just always hit me, and I was so terrified of fighting because of what my uncle had did to me, the beatings, all that stuff, that he pretty much took away all my self-confidence. So I was terrified of one-on-one fights. I don't know how to explain that. If it was a bunch of people, I would be fine, but if it was on one-on-one, it was different. It did something to me mentally. And I remember that summer, I was walking with one of my gang friends, and the kid came up to me, punched me, and I kind of just played it off with my friend, and I was like, oh, he's just playing, let's go inside, because I was scared of him. He was older and bigger than me. I was in 5th grade, he was a freshman, and my friend Chino was like, nope. He's like, if you let him do that to you, he's gonna do it all year. He's like, you're gonna fight him. He's like, I'm gonna make you fight him. And I got really scared, but I just went with it. I've always been one of those that gets really easily influenced. So I went with it, and in that moment, I found out just how dangerous I was when I got mad. That day, I found out what my anger could do to people. And I beat him to a pulse, pretty much. And then I became the bully. Every time I would see him, I would punch him, give him black eyes. And, it was weird because I was such a little kid. I didn't really grow until I hit my teenage years, 14, 15. So I was very skinny, very short, small. But yeah, from that day on, I knew that I could use my violence to hurt people and to move up in that neighborhood.
Where were you at with school at that time? How were the grades, attendance?
I don't even remember getting a report card. I don't remember going to school.
Yeah.
I mean, I pretty much dropped out in 6th grade. I wasn't attending no more. I would go to school just to hang out with all my friends and stuff like that, but I never went to a classroom, nothing. I was gangbanging 24/7.
Was there any official gangs at first, or was it kind of your crew of friends? When did it kind of get more serious as far as the gangs?
Well, at first I really didn't want to commit to a gang because in Chicago, once you commit to a gang, it's just dangerous to move around different areas in Chicago. They're very segregated because of the gangs. So since I got moved around so much from, being at my dad's house on the weekend and then being with my grandparents and then being with my uncle, they moved me around so much because they couldn't deal with me. So I got moved around every 3 months to a different house, a different aunt, a different uncle. And I just got moved around a lot. And I couldn't commit to one gang. So, you know, it wasn't until later that I turned 15 is when I officially got into a gang. I was one of the first members of it was already a street gang in Chicago called the Satan Disciples, SDs. The gangs in Chicago are very unique. It's one gang with different locations, but it's the same gang all over Chicago, just different, like a 7-Eleven store, pretty much. And the 59 SDs had gotten started that summer. I was one of their first members, and I mean, I just remember that summer we caused havoc. There was 10 of us, and we were all highly damaged. You know, all my friends, the kids that I hung around with. A lot of them are dead now. A lot of them are in jail, and few are alive.